How do I? Oh, it says the project.
Okay, I think we're live. I think we are live. So, hey everyone, thanks for joining Supabase with SolidJS live coding session today, and we have Dan from SolidJS joining us. Hey Dan, how are you doing?
Hey, doing great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so today we are building a real-time to-do list app, and the reason why we chose this to-do list app was because I was a bit busy and couldn't come up with anything creative. But I don't know. Everybody needs a to-do list app, right? And it's like the go-to app that every beginner build when they're learning a new framework. And I'm new to SolidJS, and I'm really excited about it. Dan from SolidJS is obviously going to teach me a lot about SolidJS today, so I'm really excited about that. But to get us started, Dan, do you want to introduce yourself a bit?
Yeah, I'm Dan. I'm the docs lead at Solid, and what that means is that I'm on the core team, and I am now starting this big sort of docs renovation project. We're going back through the old docs, which were written by Ryan, and we're making them as beginner friendly as possible. Um, Sean says hi. Hi, Sean. Hi, Fuzzy. Some of my favorite people in the chat already. So yeah, I do. I have like a web development background. I now do product management, and I sort of like really love technical writing and explaining things and coming up with like interactive ways to explain things. And so yeah, I'm always happy to like hop on stream, talk about Solid with people, and sort of promote it. but
Nice,
really, I
nice.
just like one thing I always say, like, no one gets paid to work on Solid. We all just genuinely enjoy working on it. It's a fully open source project, and yeah, hopefully, as you'll see, it's like pretty fun to work with.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. And prior to this stream, I guess I did, get try out Solid a bit. Like I went through the initial tutorial and everything, and then I'm loving it. It's I've heard a lot of good things about SolidJS from different people, and I can see why they love Solid so much. Alistair from Supabase team told me that SolidJS looks like what React could have been, which is I think pretty accurate way of describing what SolidJS is. But yeah, so. Let me introduce myself, I guess. For those who don't know who I am, I'm Tyler from Supabase. I work on a I work as a DevRel on Supabase, primarily focusing on Flutter related content. But I also join the happy hour stream that's happening every Friday, along with Alistair, Thor, and John Mayers. To do some Next.js development, and we're just getting started in Flutter development. But today, I wanted to get my hands dirty on SolidJS, so here I am. And it was a bit funny story how we came to know each other, huh? Dan, I think it was on Twitter, right? I
I
think
don't
I
even
commented.
remember.
Oh, you don't remember it? Yeah, I commented on someone's Twitter post. I think that Twitter post said, SolidJS is gaining popularity, and I'm debating whether I should get started with SolidJS or something like that. And I said,
And
yeah,
I'm
I
like,
feel
get
the
started.
FOMO. Yeah, exactly, exactly. You came along and said, yeah, just get started. Or is there anything I can help with you guys getting started? And kind of suggested, do you want to do like a joint stream or something? I work at Superbase and do some streams. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's how we got to this point. And like a week and a half later, yeah, we're here doing live
yeah.
stream.
And this is like my favorite thing, by the way. Like when I go on Twitter and I say like I'm happy to help, I'm like actually serious. Like if you DM me asking for help with Solid, I'm gonna help you. Um,
Mm-mm.
and a huge shout out to someone in the chat who thought Jutanium was an esoteric coding construct, uh, and also all the puns. Supadan. Um,
Oh yeah.
all right.
Yeah. We can go over the chats a bit, maybe. Yeah, one thing we always ask during one of these streams is where are people Signing in from? We would all like
Wait,
to.
where are you signing in
Yeah,
from?
I'm from Tokyo. I'm from Tokyo, by the way.
Awesome.
Yeah, Dan, where are you based in?
I would be in Atlanta, but right now
Hmm.
I'm in a WeWork in New York City.
Nice. I was gonna say it looked like WeWork.
I'm in like, it feels like I'm on an airplane. Like I'm in one of these booths, like.
Right. I was gonna say it looked like one of those phone booths at WeWork, but okay, my guess was right.
Yeah. Huge
Yeah,
shout
nice.
out to the guy joining us from South Africa. My father is South African. He moved to the U.S.
Oh, nice.
So I've been to Johannesburg a bunch of times, and yeah, super fun. Super fun place to
Yeah,
be.
and I think we did Derek. Yeah, Derek, I think joined one of our Supabase streams as well. So thanks, Derek, for joining us.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Utah. I was in Salt Lake City for the first time a month ago. Great place to be.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. What time is it in Tokyo? Yeah, it is 9:06 a.m. in Tokyo right now. So it's not
Oh,
too bad.
very nice.
It's not
Good
too bad.
morning.
Yeah. Yeah, thank
Your
you.
your
Ohayo
mind
gozaimasu.
your mind is fresh and ready to go. My mind is like, I just did a day of work.
Yeah, I'm sure. We got someone from Melbourne. Uh Glasgow. Where's that? I'm not.
It's in Scotland.
Scotland. Oh,
Fuzzy is
nice.
the most Scottish person I know.
And we have someone
Ghana.
from Ghana. Andrew Smith. Andrew, hey, he's from Supabase. I know him.
Sweet.
Ah, okay.
How
So,
big is the team at Supabase?
uh, quick question. I'm not entirely sure if this is something we disclose, but
Oh, sorry, I won't ask.
no. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah. We
I can
can.
answer the question instead.
Yeah.
Solid
SolidJS. Yeah. How big is SolidJS team?
has 6 core team members, like 20 ecosystem team members, and like 4,000 people on Discord. So I always have to do this. Shout out to join our Discord. To go to solidjs.com, you can hit the Discord button and come join our community.
Oh yeah, okay. We have to remember to do that at the end as well. Yeah. Invite people to all the
And
Discord channel,
shout
Twitter,
out to Ryan
YouTube
Carniato
channel.
in the chat. The creator of Solid has appeared in the chat from Idaho. He's not from Idaho, but he's in Idaho. And the other Ryan, this Ryan, who's in Portland, is on
Ryan, okay.
Yeah, so we have 2 Ryans
this
who
is the
are
creator.
on the core team. Yep. Yeah, Ryan Carniato is the creator. And Ryan T, as we call him, is on our core team, and he made the router, which we might use in this project, might not. And he's just a generally amazing person on the core team. So looks like we have the team assembled for this stream. So if I forget something about Solid, someone will.
We have a pretty good crowd teaching us, I guess. Okay. Great. So I guess we can get started. We got someone from Columbus. Wow, that's
Columbus,
amazing.
Georgia, which is close to me in Atlanta.
Jakarta. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. So I think we can get started. Let me share my screen real quick, if I could figure this thing out. Let's see. Can you see my screen right now? You see my VS Code?
I can see your VS Code there.
Hopefully people can see it as well. Okay, I think it's on live. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me reshuffle things around. Yeah. Okay.
David, who's another Solid core team member, has shown up to the stream. Now that David's here, we're all ready to go.
Amazing, David.
Yeah.
David. Bias?
Yeah, he DiBiase. I never actually say his last name, so I hope I got that right. But yeah, David runs community at Solid and literally just puts hours and hours and hours into this. So
nice. Okay, great. So he's like a DevRel kind of person then.
I think we've decided that I'm sort of the DevRel person, but David is pulling the strings behind the scenes. He's running the show.
Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, if we want to have like a course of Supabase and SolidJS stream. Yeah,
just like one after another, all the core team members show up.
That'll be great. Okay, so yeah, let me explain a bit of the setup that we have currently in VS Code. I've actually gone ahead and created a SolidJS app already, I thought we can skip all the bit of a boring part where I just type in a bunch of npm commands in SolidJS. But the way you can get started with SolidJS is you can go to solidjs.com, hit the get started button, and then it gives you all the instructions to how to get started with SolidJS. And I created my app using, I believe, this script, and I named my app my app. I probably should have named it something else, but
I mean, it's not your app. It's actually our app. So
yeah. Yeah, so I've gone ahead and created a TypeScript SolidJS app, and I even went ahead and hooked it up with Supabase already. So if you don't know what, I guess we can explain a bit of what SolidJS is and what Supabase is, huh? I think that's a good starting point. Do you want to go ahead and then give a
wait,
brief
can we
overview of what Solid?
can we do something different? I'm gonna try
Yeah.
to describe Supabase.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna try to describe Solid, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna like switch and fill in the
Sure.
blank. Okay.
Okay.
So let me go
Let's
first.
do that.
Supabase.
Yep.
Is an easy way to create and use a PostgreSQL database. PostgreSQL is a kind of SQL, and SQL is a kind of database querying language. But Supabase wraps all around it, so you don't have to worry about setting up the database or writing the exact queries necessarily. A lot of the times when you write an app, you need a server and a client, so you have to maintain two code bases. And Supabase helps you a lot to not really have to worry about the server code. So there's my Supabase pitch.
Yeah, that was amazing. If I were to add something to that, Supabase is, it certainly is a database, but few other things that I would also add to that would be we come with auth service as well as storage service. So in a typical app, you would need to log in people, as well as you might need to store some files like images or videos that your users submit, right? So Supabase bundles all of that features into one core service, and you can use all of that. So you can create a full-blown app, whether it's mobile app or web app, just by using Supabase and your client of your choosing. So that's what Supabase is. If you haven't used Supabase before, go check it out at supabase.com.
Is it free? Tell them, is it free?
It is free. It is free to get started. So yeah, you get 2 free projects. So all you need is a GitHub account to get started. So yeah, go check it out. Okay, I guess I will give my version of SolidJS explanation. So, and I'm gonna quote my my buddy Alistair from Supabase. He told me that SolidJS seems like what React could have been. So SolidJS is a front end framework to create single page applications, and I want to say it was inspired by React. I'm not sure if that's correct, but it's similar to React, but it doesn't use the virtual DOM. Instead, I don't know what it uses instead. Does it use web components or something?
I can
Okay.
sort of fill that in. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was inspired in some ways by React. So for example, it uses the same template language that React does called JSX, which sort of lets you include HTML inside your JavaScript. But actually the way it works was inspired by like a pretty old system called Knockout. Back in like 2012, 2014, there was like a framework called Knockout. This was like well before my time. But yeah, instead of a virtual DOM, so first of all, I don't really want to like, because a lot of people don't know what a virtual DOM is, but basically the goal that front-end frameworks try to solve is connecting your data to the view. So like anytime your data changes, you're going to want to update the view. And to do that, different frameworks have different solutions. And the way React does this is like every time some of your variables change, it will rerun your component and check like has anything here changed? And it'll do this process called diffing, like looking at your component state now, looking at where your component state was, and then it decides, okay, I'm going to go update the page accordingly. So that's sort of like how the virtual DOM works. And Solid takes a totally different approach. And what it does is it looks at where your variables, your reactive variables, are used. And it sets up like a subscription. So anytime one of your reactive variables change, Solid will very smartly just go to the exact places in the DOM that used those variables and just update them there. So this is a system that's called reactivity, and it has other names like fine-grained reactive updates. Some big words there, but fine-grained because it just sort of goes exactly where it needs to update and just touches that. And so people like to talk about Solid's performance because it's so this process of just updating what you need is very fast because you don't have to deal with all the other stuff on the page. And people like to talk about Solid's bundle size. Bundle size is how big the framework is. Because it doesn't have to create a virtual DOM system, it's a very small framework. So yeah, that's sort of what Solid is. And
nice.
Yeah, you were sort of on the nose. A lot of people are like, wow, this is like, it's like React, but it works a little bit differently.
Yeah. That's the impression that I had. And is this the Knockout that you're talking about?
Oh my gosh, it's so 2014 colors. I love that.
Is this 2014? I feel like it's more like 2006 or something. I don't know.
So this is just beautiful. I mean, look at all the
It is.
You have like the link, and then you have automatic UI refresh. Just so you know, every framework has automatic UI refresh.
I guess back then it was pretty new, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know. But
says 2010, and there's that
2010.
There's that little bubble at the top that goes new interactive tutorial. I love this so much.
Which one is it?
That little bubble below the key concepts bubble on the right. It goes like new interactive tutorials on the right hand side. You see
that? Yeah.
I love this. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
We can learn Knockout instead. I've never actually learned Knockout, but like Ryan will go on his streams and be like, yeah, check out, my favorite framework from 2010.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Oh, I'm gonna have to do some studying on Knockout as well. Okay.
Yeah,
so this basically was the foundation of SolidJS today then.
Yeah, Ryan says they were ahead of their time. And when Ryan talks about this, he's very sort of romantic. He's like, I used Knockout and I loved it. And then the entire web development community went to like other frameworks like React and Angular. And then Ryan, deep down, he always wanted the approach that Knockdown used of like having these subscriptions and these observer pattern. And then Ryan like tries hacking on his own modern Knockout, and then the rest is sort of history.
Oh, nice. Okay. So Brian was a user of Knockout. He wasn't in one of the maintainers or anything, or was he also
He was a user. He was a user of Knockout.
He was a user. Nice. Okay. Oh, I see. Back in the day, I used to use Polymer, which used web components. So my guess when I first heard of SolidJS and how it doesn't use a virtual DOM, Polymer had a similar concept. Polymer's tagline was always like they don't use virtual DOM, they use web components, so it's more performant and faster and smaller bundle size and everything. So I was wondering if SolidJS is Polymer done the correct way, but
it actually kind of was in a way. There was a version of Solid that was using web components, and hopefully Ryan will fill us in the chat. But it for a long time, Ryan was building off of web components, and there were a lot of benefits there. I guess the way I would describe the difference between a web component library and something like Solid is that a web component library uses the DOM to store information. So it can kind of like take advantage of the fact that it's really close to the DOM, and I think it like sticks stuff in the DOM to hold information. Whereas Solid, it's close to the DOM, but it doesn't actually store the data in the DOM. Hopefully someone will
Okay.
correct me in the chat if I'm wrong.
Interesting. Ah, okay. Yeah, but I guess that was a long introduction of what SolidJS and Supabase is, and that was so much fun. I think I learned a lot already, but I think we can get started with the fun stuff. So going back to this beautiful knockout page, but instead of going to a SolidJS, yeah. So the way I've already kind of set up my project a bit, but the thing that I did is I pressed this get started, ran this get started with TypeScript command to create my starter application, as well as I already gone ahead and installed Tailwind CSS and Supabase onto my project, and I populated the environment variables and everything. So I got my Supabase URL and Supabase Allen key in my environment
Oh, do you
.env
use Tailwind
file.
on stream before?
I have.
Okay, so I don't, we
Do you
don't
have
have to
any
like
concerns?
explain what Tailwind is, but
I guess we can explain what Tailwind is. Yeah. Okay. So Tailwind CSS is, and if you have a better explanation, please go ahead and jump on. But to me, Tailwind CSS is just a CSS framework that a lot of single-page application developers like to use, where we can write classes to any HTML element. For example, I could do something like this, and if I do bg red 500, uh, then this div has a red background just like that. If we go back to our development server and, well,
oh
why is it
no,
not working?
oh
Okay.
no,
Oh,
it's
I haven't
okay.
saved it. Okay, I
We're
haven't
gonna
saved
solve
it.
it. It was that easy. All right,
Yeah.
let me test the live editing feature. I'm gonna
Oh,
try
yeah.
adding a
Nice.
margin on this. Is this how you add a margin in Tailwind?
Yeah, I think so.
Ah,
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah,
We added
nice.
a margin.
Yeah, so we have VS Code live share going on today with me and Dan. So Dan can also edit my VS Code and I can edit it and it'll be fun. I don't have to do all the work, I guess. So yeah, this is Tailwind. Basically, you add classes to your HTML element and it'll just apply CSS to those elements. What's nice about Tailwind is that the bundle size, it'll when you actually deploy your app, it'll look at all the classes that are actually being used, and it'll only ship with those CSS classes. So it won't come with like extra CSS classes that you don't really use within your app. It'll come with only the CSS classes that you actually use in your app, which is really nice about Tailwind. It's just easier to get started with, and it's just super popular that a lot of people knows at this point. So yeah, we usually go with Tailwind.
Oh, one more shout out.
Hmm.
When we saved the app, it automatically reloaded, and that's because we're using something called Vite.
Yeah,
So Vite, when you
V.
use that script that he copied from the solid instructions, it used Vite as the template. And what Vite does is it's a development server that makes your life a little bit easier. So things like TypeScript and things like Tailwind are all sort of handled by Vite. And then when you're ready to deploy your app, Vite will bundle it. So it's all super efficient, and then you can go ahead and ship that off. So shout out to Vite. We've got some friends over at Vite.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really just a great development experience.
Yeah. That's another thing that I noticed about SolidJS is how Vite is natively being used within SolidJS. I've heard really good things about Vite, but I typically deal with my web applications using Next.js, and Next.js by default is not using Vite, right? And I'm sure there's a way to make it work, but
Yeah,
I guess I
actually,
don't want to go
I've
that far.
sort of asked them about this. So
Yeah.
they use something called Webpack,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to use something faster called SWC. But yeah, Vite, in the Vue community, they have something called Nuxt, which is their version of Next. They use Vite. In the Svelte community, they have something called SvelteKit. They're using Vite. We're using Vite natively in Solid Start, which is our competitor to Next.js. And then, yeah, actually, this example is Vite sort of using Solid rather than Solid using Vite. So actually, I want to show on screen the vite.config file.
Yeah.
I sort of opened it in
Vite.conf.
mine. but it's at the bottom.
This one,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see here, we import the Solid plugin, and then we include the Solid plugin in the Vite plugins, and that sort of orchestrates all of this to work. And the thing that's sort of important to know about Solid is it transforms the JSX into JavaScript. So if you go back to that, well, in this case it's TSX because it's TypeScript, but if you go to the app.tsx, like if you're a JavaScript developer, like you'll know that you can't just like return a div from a random function. So
Obviously, yep.
the Vite plugin has a little compiler in it that converts the JSX to JavaScript, and along the way it makes things very efficient.
Oh, nice. That's very beautiful. Yeah, so that was another thing that I got excited. I got to use Vite, which was another thing that everybody was using, and I was feeling a bit FOMO. But yeah, going back to the setup. So we have Tailwind set up. I have a nice constants file here with my Supabase URL and Supabase anon key loaded, and we have a Supabase client, so we can use this little guy here within our application to load data, write data, and all of that. And if we go back and look at our Supabase setup, so I have just logged into my Supabase account with my GitHub account. If you haven't done so, you should really do it because it's free to get started and it's so much fun. I have this real-time to-do list app. Now, I've already populated one table, and it's called to-dos. And it has a primary key, a task, and is complete boolean and inserted at. So it's pretty simple, and let's just get rid of this initial data that we had. This simple table is taken from, if we go to our SQL editor, every Supabase project, by the way, comes with a full-blown SQL editor. So you can get up and running with writing SQL. Or if you're not familiar with SQL, you can always go to the table editor and you can create a new table here without ever actually touching SQL at all. But if we go to the SQL editor, there are some sample projects that we can play around with. So here, if we go to hit welcome, there's some quick start sample projects here, and there's the countries table, Slack clone, and there's the to-do list. So I've gone ahead and used this to-do list template. If you click it, it'll spit out a bunch of SQL, but what I did is, so to get us started with Supabase makes it feel like you're directly interacting with the database. It feels like you're directly writing to the database from your client application. In reality, there's a backend that handles like authentication and everything. So so there's definitely it's definitely secure. But to get us started and we want to get something up and running quick, we're gonna build a to-do list app that basically doesn't have any security. If we have some time, we can implement like logins and security and that sort of stuff later on. But for now, we are not going to have a user ID field in this table. So this table has an ID. This is the table that I showed you earlier, but this table has a primary key ID, a task, which is a text object. It contains the actual to-dos that every user submitted and is complete and inserted at. We're gonna comment out the user ID because we're not gonna implement login right off the bat. We might do it later on. And then we are going to comment out this entire blows section. What this is it enables row level security. And this is how you can ensure the security on your database. What row level security does is, this first line, it's enabling row level security on table to-dos. And what that does, it by default blocks every single incoming request coming to that table. So nobody can write to that table, nobody can read from the table. Now, the other SQLs that follows that is enabling certain users to do certain things. Like, for example, this first one is creating a policy where individuals can create to-dos. So if you're a logged in user, you can create a to-do with where the user ID equals your logged in user ID. So every Supabase project comes with a auth schema auth table, and you can log people in. And when that login user ID matches with this user ID who's created a to-do list, they can write to the table and so on and so forth. It's pretty similar to that. They can update things, they can delete things, they can view their own to-do list. But we are not going to do any of this, at least not at the beginning, just because we might not have time to implement logins and everything. But if we have time, we might go back to it. So I've commented out all the things that we don't need for now, and I just ran this SQL earlier. I'm sure I'm gonna get a error right now because I already had that table. But that is the setup that we have currently. So we have a nice to-do table, and yeah, I think we're ready to get started. So
Yeah, I guess we have to write the functions, right, to store stuff in the database and to retrieve stuff.
yeah. So in a typical setup, is it pretty common for developers to get started with an app.tsx, or should we create a separate, like a page component? And
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty typical if you're not doing routing. If you're using a router, you will use the router within the app component, and then you'll create separate page components. But I don't think we should use routing. It's kind of a lot for today.
Yeah, sure, sounds good. Okay, yeah, then we can, I guess, get started within here, huh? So okay, the first thing, what should we do first? We can create I guess we can read all the data from the database and display it just here. I think that's a good starting point. So the way and if I were to write React, I would use something like use effect, right, to run something upon initialization. But in SolidJS, I noticed that this app component is not being called over and over. So like if I do something like this, and hit save and go back and open my dev tool and refresh the page, it's only be called once, which is not something that happens in React. And I was kind of impressed with this, or I guess it's more intuitive, huh? This way, it's what developers would expect. But so
it's a function. We only called it once, so why should it show up again?
Yeah. Certainly. So this gave me the idea. So can we do something like, we can write a function here to load data,
Yeah, you can create you can create the function inside the app. You can create it outside the app, and it doesn't really matter. I guess you should probably create it outside the app because let's say if app was a component that we would reuse, you would want to store that. In this case, it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. So I have a load to-dos, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to load the data from Supabase like this. A Supabase client. I thought I named it Supabase. Okay, Supabase. It's not showing up. Okay. Okay, auto import not working for some reason. Space from cons utils.
So you put it in constant, yeah. Okay.
Okay, great. So we are going to load data from the to-dos table, and we're just gonna get every single data for now. I think this is good. Something we can do with this is, since this is a TypeScript project, we can create a type. So to do
Is
like
there a nice way
this.
to get it to match up with the types from SQL?
There is. So we have a tool. We have using the CLI. You can automatically create the types. You can certainly do that, but I think for a small project like this, it's
Yeah.
easier to just go ahead and do it like this. So task is a string. I think we have a inserted, and ID was a number. I think. Sorry, inserted as is a string. Is that all the is complete? Right, that's important. Is complete. Boolean. Okay. So we have a nice to-do type, and now we can add a type right here. What this will do is it'll change the type of this data variable to a array of to-dos instead of arrays of any. So we have a nice typed data, and let's just handle the error in a very unprofessional way. We're just gonna return alert error.
What is yeah, I'm curious as to what the error looks like, the error object.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna contain, what it will contain is it might contain an error code, error details, and hint and a
Hints.
message. I think hint. What was the difference between hint and message? I don't exactly remember it, but I
It's like Blue's
think it was something
Clues.
similar.
Follow the hint.
Yeah.
I love
So
it.
we can console log the error and see what.
And if there's an
if
error,
we
will data just be undefined?
data will be
An
either
empty
undefined or
object?
null. Null. Yeah, data will be
No.
null in that case. Yeah. So this is a. I think initially we used to just throw errors when errors occurred, but this was like 2 years ago, and a lot of the people in the community like this way of instead of like wrapping every single Supabase call to a try catch, they can just get their errors as a variable and handle their errors the way they like. So
Yeah,
this is a
it's
popular
funny
choice.
because if we did throw the error, there's
Mhm.
something in Solid called like an error boundary that like catches the error for us in the view. So either way.
Okay. Do we wanna throw it instead of
I don't know. Let's kind of
showing?
keep it this way because I want to like.
Okay.
Yeah, we can try.
Okay.
Yeah, try throwing it, and then
Okay.
and then we can sort of play around with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Then at this point we wanna get the data. So we wanna do like a set state kind of thing. So I guess I have a React background and I don't have a whole lot of SolidJS background, but we're gonna do like a set state kind of thing in React. Now, how can we go about doing that in React? I mean SolidJS.
so it's funny. In the new tutorial,
Mhm.
loading something from the database from a server is like the last thing in the tutorial because it's sort of built up. But if you go actually, so yeah, go to the. So this is the old docs, but the old docs have the API reference. So if you go to the top, and you go to API, you'll see on the left our basic reactivity building blocks.
Right here.
So
Right.
there's 4 of them. So the effect, you mentioned doing something called use effect in React. So we have something similar. So if you want to run code, so remember how you said you could just like run code in the function? That will happen before the rendering. So oftentimes it's not really what you want to do. If you do a create effect, they will run when the component actually gets created, not just when the function gets called. So we have a create effect, and then the sort of like use state you were talking about is called create signal. And the reason why it's called a signal is because if something uses it, it will signal to that thing to run again. But if you go to the top again, on the top of the nav on the left, there's 2 more besides signals and effects. We don't really have to talk about memo. But the last one, create resource, is designed for this, for fetching from the server. So this is a load of TypeScript drama, but if
Yep.
you scroll down a bit from this, and we're reworking all of this, so it won't look like this in a couple months.
Right here, I'm
but
guessing. No.
but yeah, we'll keep scrolling down. We're going to go past the TypeScript. So yeah, see those two snippets at the top, or I guess this snippet is fine, right? So we have, you declare an async function, which we already did, and then actually, wait, go up to the simpler code snippets from above.
This one.
There are two here. So const data equals create resource fetch data. So the first example, you pass create resource, the fetcher, and as soon as the component loads, the resource will fetch using that fetcher. And when it's done, it will update the data signal. So data is actually a special signal. So create resource is a wrapper around signal that allows you to like really easily just use data in your view. And at the beginning, when the server is still loading, nothing will show up. And then when the server is done loading, it will automatically update. So you can literally just copy this piece of this first example here.
First one or the second one? The first one.
The first one. The first one.
First one. Okay.
I'll explain the second one when we get there. And
do we wanna? So we have to include it in the app component. Is that correct? Right
yeah,
here.
Sorry, I'm just trying
Something
to.
like
Yeah,
this.
we want to stick it in there, and then we can go ahead and just add create resource to this import, and then instead of what just happened? And then okay, I guess I'll finish typing.
Okay. Yep. And then would the load to-dos go in here?
Yeah, just stick that in there.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
And we didn't return anything yet from the load to-dos. So
right.
we have to like return data. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And now, the type. I just want to see if the type worked. I think the type worked. Yeah, it's to do or undefined, which should be correct. So we can sort of do a little check here. So I'm going to do like a simple example where all we do is call the data signal. Every signal is a
function. Right.
And we'll use this little null thing. Nice. And what we can call task maybe. I don't know what I did wrong here.
I think you have to map it, right? So data's an array of to-dos.
Oh, it's an array.
Yeah, it's an array. Yeah. In this case,
can I grab the first one just for now?
Sure. Let's do that. Yeah.
All right, we're getting some scary.
Would this work? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that works.
Scary situation here. Yeah. Obviously, this is very unsafe, but I just want to see if it like actually works.
Wait.
Because we're going to use a for component to do the mapping. Wait, I can't see your screen. 1 second. Oh, I have the localhost as well. Oh yeah, okay.
I have to declare type here, maybe. Would this work? No. Wait.
Let's just.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do some stuff. So let's just do simple.
I'll stop bothering you.
Let's just do a simple console.log.
Yep.
So here we're going to use an effect, and what an effect does is it will run and update whenever signal changes. So we can go console.log data in here.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And now every time data changes, this will rerun. So if we're lucky, this will do something that we like.
And that's something that's really nice about SolidJS is how you can use a create effect, and you can just include whatever signal you want to use inside that effect, and you don't have to manually specify which signal you want to watch. Like it'll just automatically detect which variable, which signal is used within this create effect, and it'll just run whenever any of those changes, right?
chat is helping us. So sorry. First, yes, you're totally correct about create effect. Create effect
Yep.
tracks your. It's called dependency tracking. So it's just really smart. It will watch everything you use and automatically rerun it whenever there's
Yeah, that's
changing.
really nice.
So we're gonna go here and do return data because we undid that, and then we're gonna go fix the optional chaining operator here, and hopefully we'll get something on your screen now.
Okay. Guess we can. Let's hit refresh and see what happens. So, typer cannot read properties of undefined reading task.
Okay, so something went wrong somewhere. We can try to debug. We'll like stick a console.log in the load to dos. See if this works.
Good. It's just
okay. So it's returning an empty array. I think we might have deleted.
Oh, right. That's why. So we're trying to access the first one, and there's no first one. So, I've been kind of slacking off lately and haven't been going to the gym. So go to the gym would be something that I want to work on. Let's see if that fixes it. Okay, so we're getting something. No errors. That's good.
Sweet. Let's actually do a proper loop.
Okay.
So Solid ships with something called a for component. So
for component.
The way this works is it's gonna yell at us with the squiggly line, but so you do for each, and then you stick an array in here, and then here what it does is it takes a function and it will map the element or I guess item to anything we want. So I guess I'll do a div. So yeah, and then okay.
I think we have to import it. Is that?
So we don't actually have to import it because it's automatically imported, but because VS Code doesn't think that's cool, it's going to yell at us. Let's just see if this actually works in your browser. I probably screwed something up along the way.
Let's see. So
update you can do the update import so we get rid of the squiggly line.
I think we got, and then what is this item? Type to do is not assigned to.
Oh, sorry. Item dot task.
Right. Okay. Great. Oh yeah. Okay. We're getting something.
Okay, it worked. Great.
Oh, nice. So this is how you can loop through on variable.
Yeah, and we should make it a little like nicer, I guess, with this.
Yeah. I think just my prettier settings. That's okay.
No!
Whenever I save it. As long as we have something more longer here, I think it should fix it. And another thing that I wanted to highlight from SolidJS that I like compared to React is we're not using class names. We're just using class, which is what you do in web development, right?
For background in React, they decided that because class is like a reserved JavaScript thing, you have to use class name instead. But in Solid, we don't have that restriction. Oh yeah, so we can go ahead and style this so it looks like a beautiful red and white.
Yeah. Something like this. Okay.
Thank you, prettier.
Now it's nicely formatted. Okay. So yeah, it's nice and red and okay. Yeah, we got something going on. So I guess if we add more tasks, I don't know. What's something you want to do? What's something that you want to do?
I want to finish. I'm actually writing the documentation for Create Resource, like a nice concept guide. I want to finish that.
For
Create Resource. Yeah.
Okay. So if
Oh
we
yeah,
hit refresh,
David.
nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, David's like, we need more rows. Sweet. So,
Let's see. Yes.
yeah. So someone was mentioning in the chat, like, is the signal returned from create resource like deeply tracking changes in the return data? So it doesn't, but I'm not sure like why you would need that. I'm not really sure, but we do have another primitive called store, create store, which allows you to do something like deeply tracking a nested object. But anyway, back to this. Can we do something spicy and make the server return an error?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we can just screw up here. Yeah.
All right. So
Just
what
try to
what
fetch data
happens
from
now?
unknown table.
Yeah,
Yep.
something bad will happen now.
Okay.
Um,
So we are getting error
uncaught,
in the
in
console.
promise, blah blah blah. Okay, this is beautiful. So we threw the thing. So we can. I mean, one way to handle this is just stick an error boundary. I actually haven't done this in a while, so hopefully I'm remembering correctly. But
okay.
I can show you in the docs. I guess I can't really paste it to you, but I can write a little comment here.
Okay.
I don't know if that works. But did you see the link?
Wait, where is it? In
I put it in the I put it in the app. I put it in the app.
Oh, I should have seen that.
Like,
oh, nice. Okay. Oh yeah, this is a great way to collaborate.
Yeah. Okay, it didn't properly scroll.
Which one is
You
it?
just search. It's called error boundary.
Error boundary.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so do you see how it's how you use it? You type error boundary and then you give it a fallback prop, and that will show when the error happens.
Right. Okay. I guess we can just copy and paste this one.
Yeah.
Error boundary, my fallback. Okay. Something went terribly wrong. So we're gonna wrap everything with our error boundary in this case.
Yeah, and you can sort of put the boundary wherever you want. In this case, we can wrap anything with. We can wrap everything with it. We could put it inside the div. So yeah, let's see what happens now. If we're lucky, this actually works.
Okay, nice. So I guess we can make it nice and red and more like something happen.
Yeah, and so that's like a simple way to catch your error, but there's also a like data.error property. So so if you go to the oh, actually, sorry,
this guy.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that I also have access. But yeah, this guy has like you can call. So let's just try here. Data.error.
Oh, nice.
And hopefully that actually works.
Is this error object the error that we threw here?
Should be, because create
then
resource.
Maybe we have message. Yeah, we do have a message. Okay, nice. Let's add a.
Oh, did it work? Oh, it did work. Okay.
Yeah, it worked. So let me add a line break. So okay. So this is a message that we had. Something went terribly wrong, and then relation public dot to do doesn't exist. Okay, so this is a proper error message that we're getting from Supabase, telling us that that table that we're trying to get data from does not exist. And
yeah,
nice. This is nice. Okay. Proper error handling.
Yeah, we also have suspense. Suspense is a nice way to show something while the server is loading. But in order to show that off, the server has to take a while. Um,
Okay. Let's see. Let's see how we can do that in Supabase. Well, you know what? Everything in Supabase is so fast that we're not gonna be able to do that.
it's fine. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess this is one of like my favorite things about Solid is that it has create resource built in. So you don't like usually in other frameworks you'll have to like use an effect and then in the effect
Right.
call a state and then blah blah. This is just like a nice thing that's included because a lot of apps just have to call a server.
Right.
I guess things get a little bit tricky if you want to post data to the server. Um,
Which we'll
we
do pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I mean, what's next? What's the master plan for the?
Yeah. Let's see. So I gotta try to get data in real time. That's one of the themes today, right? Real time to do apps. So we got the initial data. We can get the initial data here, but now in Supabase, what you can do is not only do you get a nice API endpoints to read and write your data on your Postgres database, you can subscribe to your Postgres database changes in real time. So let me fix this to a actual table that exists. And what that looks like is something like this. So if I could remember it correctly, Supabase dot from. So far the same thing. To dos, and then from here we can call on. And what this does is we can subscribe to every single change on that table,
Ooh,
only delete changes, insert, or update.
okay, I
So in
like.
this case, yeah, I think we can subscribe to every single change, insert, delete, update. And I think we have to define a callback, payload, and then subscribe. And this returns a subscription object where we can, we don't really need to do this in this case, but if we want to unsubscribe from this real-time changes, we can
Okay.
unsubscribe using this return value. But we want to define what we want to do as those real-time changes come in inside this callback function. But I'm thinking where would be a good place to stick this in. So this is not like a one-time fetch where we get data and we return it. This is like an ongoing kind of thing.
Okay, so
So yeah.
the the function you pass it gets called
Mhm.
over and over again.
Yeah, this particular callback function gets called over and over
Okay,
again.
so
Yeah.
yeah, we can set this up,
Hmm.
like do this line of code in an effect in the app, so it'll just
Okay.
run when the app begins.
Kind of like this.
Actually, this is a good time to show off on mount. So
Okay.
on mount is very similar to create effect, but it won't
Hmm.
watch for changes. It'll just run at the beginning of the app.
Right.
Um,
On mount.
yeah, it's uppercase
This
M,
one.
and we did it import it for us.
I
Yeah,
think
looks like
so.
it did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you call it just like the effect. So you need to just pass it a function, and yeah, it'll look exactly like the effect. Um,
We can get rid
so
of the effect for now.
yeah, got to show that off.
Hmm.
And here, I
Hmm.
guess this could be a spot where we could, so we could refetch if you
Hmm.
want the to dos. Um,
Okay.
you can also just call. Does the payload? So what's in the payload is basically my
Yeah,
question.
payload actually contains the data, like the post update data. So if we hit payload, I think yeah, so there's payload new, which contains all the new data if it's an insert or update, or payload old will contain the old data that used to be
Okay.
there. And yeah, I guess
Um,
yeah, so typically how it goes is we would have like a switch statement
hmm,
where we switch what we want to do depending on the event type, whether it's an insert, update, or delete.
mhm.
And case. Is it? Okay, it's just a string. Insert. Do this, and then kind of like this.
Man, it's been a while since I've written a switch statement.
Yeah, yeah,
I love
me too.
Cool. So, well, in the case that, is the payload going to be an array of to-dos?
It will be a single object of a single to-do. So yeah, every time a single role changes, it'll call this callback for that particular role. If two roles happen to change at once, it'll run twice for those two roles. I believe. So if we do something like payload.new, this is yeah. So this is a single
Oh, the newest thing that
to-do.
was added.
Yeah.
So Ryan suggests representing the data in a store rather than what we're doing, and then this allows us to sort of like insert. Like when we get an insert, we can just add the data to a store. I guess this gets tricky because the resource for
Yeah.
data is just an array. So
It does get a bit messy. Okay, maybe we're going to a rabbit hole and
the boring way of doing this is just mutating, like the mutate function that's returned from create resource lets you just directly change the signal. So the like boring and inefficient way of doing it is when a thing gets inserted, you like call call mutate and
mutate.
set it to the previous value because it's a function. So you can set it to like the previous value of data, comma the new thing. But this is a very bad.
Kind of like this. So we have the previous value inside a callback, and then
it would have to be. Yeah, it could be like that. You might want to use the array to like the array spread. Like you might want it to be like
right. Oh yeah.
Like that. But it's like pretty. It's so this. What is this payload.new? So this would work, but the problem is it would rerun every single thing in the array. So the for loop, it would render all the things in loop, even the things that didn't change. So this is like inefficient. So what we actually want to do is have a store and
store. Okay, that's something new for me.
So what we can do with the store is, all right. So this is going to be a little tricky, but if you go to, I'm going to like bring you to the tutorial example, and
I like that. It's so nice to have the entire SolidJS team in the comments, huh? This is. Oh, I think you're muted.
Am I unmuted now? So
weird.
Yep. Okay. So here is the example.
Paste it somewhere?
Yeah, I'm gonna paste it right here. So if you open that up, on line 8, you see this example: to-dos, set to-dos equals create store. And basically, we use signals for single values, but we use store for like multiple reactive things. So remember how I said, like, if we just mutate that signal, it will have to rerun all the stuff in the array. So store solves that for us. If you give it an array, it will maintain each item in the array as its own reactive signal. So if a specific item in the array changes, it just will just change that
particular place, particular element. Yeah, DOM. Exactly. Okay. So this is what we want to do. So we can, I guess, have it like up here somewhere.
Yeah.
And hopefully, no, it didn't do that. What did I do? For some reason it didn't.
Yeah, you just have to import it from SolidJS/store, which is a little confusing, but
it's not
Yeah, it's not in that one.
Solid.
I
Okay.
think
It's not letting me
I'll-
do auto
I'll
import.
do
So
this.
okay, thanks. Yeah, I hate it when for some reason auto import doesn't work. Nice, nice. Okay.
So okay, so here's well, the subscription won't won't give us the initial array, will it?
It won't. It won't. Yeah.
Okay.
So it just gives us the changes that happened after we set the subscription. So we still need to call this load to-dos to get the initial data. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do something that Ryan is probably gonna yell at me for, but like you can literally just do create effect, like set to dos. Oh, what did I do wrong? Why is
I
did
think
we
I deleted it. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Create effect there now.
So we can even say like I guess I guess we could do it like this. I mean, this is probably not an optimal way to architect this.
I think we can just do this. No, that doesn't work. What? Why is it complaining? It's
TypeScript.
type 2 is not assigned by a setter. Never. Oh, I think we don't have the type here. Could this be it?
Oh yeah, thanks.
Okay, and then we can just do this. Okay, yeah, great.
I'm so glad you're better at TypeScript than me. Cool.
Okay, great.
This
No, this feels like a live code.
Probably
so yeah,
like a silly way of doing this, but it at least gets the I think there's another way of doing this where we just use a memo, and the memo would take in. Yeah, a memo is a way to sort of like combine reactive values or derive reactive values. But like I don't want to get into that. We're gonna do the glitchy thing for now. And
Ryan's saying if you assign data to a value, then if the value
what? Hang on.
Is this Ryan yelling at you for doing this?
I think this is Ryan yelling at me, but like Ryan is not on stream, so I make the decisions. Oh, you won't. Oh, he's saying if you. Oh, he's saying you can get around.
Oh, right. So kind of like,
right, because by the way, this is better because we only call it once. Okay, now. This you have to call it something else. Yeah.
This doesn't work either.
No, just say return value. Call it return value.
Return value. Okay. Sure. Okay, great. Everything works.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. Great. Thanks. Okay.
Fine. So now, if you go down to the for each,
okay. Yep.
Instead of calling data, we can call to-dos. Because this is the value of our store. Oh no,
we're getting this one.
Yeah.
Now are we getting the initial data here? So yeah, we got the real-time changes. I guess it's halfway done, sort of.
So right now, like if you comment out all the broken real-time data stuff,
sure.
Try this. Like see if this works.
Oh, okay. We are getting the data.
So the reason why this works, is we in our effect we set the to-dos to the value of the resource. So this is what I said was kind of glitchy because like we're not really using the data signal in our div. We're just sort of
Yeah.
moving it from the signal to the store, so that in our real-time data thing, we can laser focus on a specific item. Because once it's in a store, it's all really efficient, and it reactively updates. So now we can try doing the real-time stuff.
Yeah, this is nice. I completely forgot about how create effect, and I know we talked about this a few minutes back, but automatically detects all the
Yeah.
signals inside it. In my mind, I was thinking, okay, this will only run right after this component is mounted, which at that point data is empty, and
Yeah, so
therefore
it
return value
it
is
will
empty, and
run.
it wouldn't work. But
It'll run
that's not the
twice.
case, right? It'll rerun every single time this data changes, and then it'll. Wow, that's really nice. Okay, right. So then I guess we can work on the real-time changes now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So how do we wanna do this? We're not gonna use this mutate function anymore, right?
Yeah, we're not gonna use that.
Okay. So
So when we insert,
mhm.
we just get a new item.
Yep.
So yeah, so let's, I guess, grab that
Let's
item and
yep.
then set the to-dos.
Get to choose.
It should give you the
I like this.
previous, yeah, exactly. And this should work nicely.
Something like this. Okay. Let's try that. So go to the gym, finish stock. Let's see. I don't know. I'm a huge cat person, and I haven't played around with my cats for a long time. They don't live with me. They live with my parents in a different city. So I'll play with my cute cats. See if wow, it's working.
Okay, it
It
just
was inserted.
automatically.
Automatically inserted. Wow, that's great.
So wait, can you add more stuff?
Yeah. So okay, let's just add more
Yeah,
stuff.
it's very satisfying.
Yeah, more
Okay,
stuff.
cool.
Great.
Okay. I
Nice.
think
It's working.
I think the other ones are going to be trickier because we have to like
hmm
delete the right item.
Yeah. Should we? Let's do it. We can do it. Right? So we have to find it, huh? So how should we go about it? Set to dos. I wonder if it's smart to do it in here or previous. There's a previous value.
So
I think we can.
does it get, if it gives us the index of the thing that's updated, we can use that instead?
It doesn't give us an index, but we have an ID, so we should probably search it by ID.
Okay, so
Yeah.
instead of using this version of set to dos,
Mm-hmm.
you can actually put a condition as the first argument of set to dos, and it should give you
Condition.
so yeah, I mean,
What
I'm
does it
trying
look
to
like?
find
Do you know?
I'm
Yeah.
trying to find the right example
Documentation.
from the docs here,
Uh-huh.
because I don't want to just shoot it out from the but hang on, let me see if I can get this right.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, is it payload dot new dot ID?
ID. Yep.
All right, so I think we can do item dot ID equals payload dot new dot ID. I really hope this works.
Oh, okay. Wow, this is interesting.
Think Ryan's not yelling
Really?
at me yet.
Wow. Okay. Let's try this out. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna update
Wait,
more
do we have to
stuff
refresh the
too.
page first?
Oh, right. Yep. Let's
I don't know.
refresh it. And then more stuff too. Way more stuff. See if. Wow, it's working. Wow, wow, wow. This is really awesome.
I was so nervous because I'm afraid of getting
Yeah.
something wrong, but
So
we did it.
yeah, do you want to go over what happened here?
Yeah. So with the stores,
Mm,
it has a really nice way of updating the stores, um, so that it can sort of, rather than like updating the entire store. Remember how I said that what the store does is it makes everything in the store a specific signal. So it gives you a
mm-hmm.
nice way to access that, a given signal. So yeah, you can pass this sort of conditional. And this is kind of interesting because in this example, the store is an array. So
Right.
it sort of
Yeah.
like loops through the root of the store. But let's
Mm-hmm.
say the store was actually an object. You
Right.
can do a path. So like, let's say it was an object with a bunch of things. You can say like items and then like that, and then it will sort of,
Wow.
so you can like nest this. You can do like a conditional here, and then like you can
Right. Right. Right.
do as many of these as you want. It's called like a path syntax. So if I show you this sort of example from the docs, there's like a few of them.
Oh.
Um, I'm gonna go ahead and do my trick where I just paste the link
Yep.
here. And
Love this.
yeah, so one of the
Good.
reasons why I was nervous about this is
Uh-huh.
stores didn't always used to have arrays as a value they could have. They used to just be objects. So I
Right.
was like,
Right.
this work if the store is an array, but it did. Okay, so if you scroll down a bit,
Mm-hmm.
um, updating
Updating
stores.
stores.
So here the example is like a object. So it has a first name and last name,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that we see two ways to update the store. This was what we did the first time, where we just like literally just like
This
passed
one.
a new, but I want to like pay attention to the difference here. So
Right.
this store started with first name and last name, but when we passed first name and middle name, it just merged it for us.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
it didn't just
Wow.
replace it, it was like smart about it.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then here in the second example, it took a function. But yeah, if you scroll down, there's some other cool examples.
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, so here the object is what remember how I was saying, like the object can have an array inside it. So here you have
Mm-hmm.
like a store that has a counter property, and then it has a list property that's an array.
Yep.
And so here's that example I was trying to show you. So the first one, all it does is it increments the counter. So
Right.
the first thing is the
Right
property we
here.
want to edit, and then the second
Yep.
thing is that the thing where you take the previous and you return the next, and then the next one like the first property is the list, and
Mm.
then you can sort of mutate the list. But in the third example, we go deeper, where we pass in the list as the property, and then we
Mm-hmm.
pass which element in the list we want to edit. In
Second
this case,
element.
well,
This one.
third.
Oh, third. Oh, obviously. Yeah, I don't know.
No,
Obviously, I
cool.
don't know JavaScript.
No, you're
Okay,
good. You're
right.
good.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so
Third,
it's
which
actually
is
smart.
this one that was created previously. This is the
Yeah,
third one, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So it will go in. So what's interesting here is that the third thing after two is
Mm.
read, but we
Hmm.
don't have a read property. So it's smart and it
Right.
knows to add it instead of mutating it.
Right. Right here. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. Wow. 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 It looks like there's a lot of tricks that you can do with this store.
Yeah,
What is it called? Store signal or
it's called create store.
create
Yeah,
store? Create store.
you just sort of call it a store. But
Uh-huh.
if you want to know like what it is, we usually say it's like nested signals, because
Mm.
each of those individual things behind the scenes gets turned into basically a signal.
Mm.
Um, yeah, no. Yeah, Ryan was talking about the docs, but I think we're good on the docs. I just sort of had never really played around with this new store. Okay, anyway, yeah, it works. So
Wow, this is awesome. This is awesome. So like every single time when I do an update in a case like this, I have to do like a filter and figure out which index it is that I want to update, and then finally able to mutate that particular array object, and it's a mess. So being able to just mutate my arrays like this is like, wow, I'm amazed. So I'm guessing we can do something really similar with the delete, where
So I wonder if
so our target is now the old contains what it used to be. And since it's a delete, there's no new, but we have the target ID by payload.old.id. Now, what I want to do is I want to get rid of that one. Is there
yeah,
a easy way to do that?
I don't think so. I mean, you
Okay.
can pass undefined and sort of see what happens.
Hopefully it works. Okay, maybe not.
Or yeah, no.
Okay.
We can use all right, I'm gonna show off a little helper. It's called produce.
Okay.
So inside the set to dos, the
Yep.
first argument should be actually I can do this myself, right? I keep forgetting.
Produce.
I think I have to import this from store, yeah.
I think I can do it. Yep, I did that.
Ah, we got it too.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
Now you can just do delete prev. What was this? Payload dot.
Payload.old.id.
Oh no. Oh.
So that's not the index. That's the So we still don't have the index.
Damn it! I thought we were gonna have the index. Okay, fine. So
we can probably get the index from a not very awesome way, but like using filters and.
Ryan's like, we could just call array.filter. So we don't need produce.
Yeah.
I wanted to show off produce because like I forgot we didn't have the index. But what produce lets you do is just imperatively do whatever you want to the array. So you don't have to use like this sort of like reduce or filter, whatever. Like if we have an object and we want to delete an item, we just call delete. Yeah, so we can just sort of do like prev goes to prev.filter, item goes to item.id. That
not equals to payload.old.id. Nice. Okay. This will work.
And like store is smart on how it does this. Like it knows to only delete that one thing. It's not going to go through the entire
right and re-render everything. It's just gonna be super efficient and just gonna delete that particular cell element. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 to-dos. Let's delete. I don't wanna delete that. Okay, I'm just gonna delete this. Go to the gym because I'm too lazy to actually do that. Delete one row. Confirm. Wow, it's working. It is working. We have a real-time to-do list. Wow, this is great. Okay, so we can load the data. We are listening to the data in real time. I guess all we need to do is we have to be able to create a to-do item, and then I guess we can maybe have like a checkbox or something. But I don't know if we have time for that. Let's try to get to a point where we can create new to-do list item. So
yeah, we can stick a text box and a button,
yeah. That always works. So in this, I guess let's create it actually above everything, because like if we have too many to-dos, it's gonna
actually, let me put the error boundary in here, just so that the button won't get sort of like consumed by it. Oh no!
Yeah.
I hate this VS Code situation. Okay.
Okay, great. So now let's actually put it right here. Do we need a form? Yeah.
Well, Forms are annoying. Can we just skip the
Okay.
form? Have a
Yeah.
button?
Okay. What's your preferred way of just
Ryan will yell at me for saying that too, but
have a simple input?
I always just do like an input and a button, and I but here
Submit.
we'll stick it inside this outer div. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, and so now we can give the button a click event. Sorry, I almost did view code.
So you have a Vue background then?
I have a Vue background, and one of my client projects is still in Vue.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
embarrassingly, I'm like on the solid core team, but still forced to use Vue. But I think this is true for a lot of people.
Yeah. Certainly. It's so hard to like stick to single framework these days. Like you have to be able to like use this and
Yeah,
that, and
we can just
yeah.
type here like submitted,
Yeah.
and then define this function here.
Mm-hmm.
So I can just console.log, did the button work, and we can test if the button worked.
Okay. Yep, it's working.
And then
Nice.
we want to do a on input event here. And
are we gonna create a new signal to?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
It's so funny. We're doing this all out of order. Usually the first thing I do in a demo is signal, but we did like all the advanced stuff first.
Right. Nice. Set input to do. This is probably a really bad name, but that's okay. So create signal, right? Create signal.
And then you can provide an initial. Yeah, you can provide like the initial start. So just do like an empty string.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and now we can be like, okay, on input, like E goes to what are like, I think it's
set. Yep.
E dot target dot value.
Except.
Oh, I definitely screwed something up. No, I think that would actually work. Let me just in the submitted.
Yeah, I think this is just TypeScript yelling at us.
I think
public value does not exist on type given target. Okay.
I mean, you can do like E as like input something. I don't know, input event. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
I don't really care.
Let's just okay. Let's just work. Okay. Let's see if it doesn't. It wouldn't let us do that because.
Oh no, we have a syntax issue because
Alistair, if you're in the comments, we need your help with TypeScript. So E dot target on input.
No, it's fixed. It's fixed.
It's fixed?
The problem is we have a CSS issue. The CSS is not showing the input on my screen. So let's give it a border.
Oh, okay.
Does this work? Yeah, it worked. Now you can see the input. I'll give it a thicker border. I think it's like border 4.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Cool. So now we can go into that submitted function and like do whatever we want with the value. So we might need to make another async function.
Right. Okay, submitted. We can just make this one async, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, you could. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's leave that console log for right now. Okay, the way we write data to Supabase is data error as usual. Const equals Supabase dot from. So again, we want to call the to-dos table to-dos, and then we want to insert in this case, a object. So what it's going to be is its ID is auto-generated. So what is it? Task is going to be the and that's it, right? What else do we have? Task is okay. We're just gonna say is complete is false when we insert it. I think that's good. Should we give it a try? Something new. Wow,
Sweet.
it's working.
Yeah,
It's
this is
working.
great.
Great.
I was thinking to myself, should we use another create resource? Because one of the things you can do with create resource
Mm-hmm.
is as the first value, you can
Mm-hmm.
pass optionally a signal, and
Mm-hmm.
every time that signal changes, it will run the create resource again. So
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes in an example like this, we'll have a signal called submitted text, submitted input.
Mm-hmm.
And in the handler, like in that submitted function, we'll call like set submitted text to the value, and that will
Mm-hmm.
automatically run the resource that does the submission. But we don't really need to do that here because we're not getting anything back.
Right.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter because Supabase, we set up all that sweet Supabase magic.
Nice listeners. Yep.
Yeah, so like this is like Supabase and Solid working together to make, like David said in the lines of code, like he's like, this is 100 lines of code. Like yeah, the fact that like Supabase, like this is like a perfect synergy, right? We got to use
Yeah.
the real-time updates from Supabase, and each line of the switch is one line because of the Solid store.
Yeah. Nice. It's
Everything
it's
just
really
worked
nice.
really
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is what I love about being able to set up real-time listeners. You don't have to you don't have to take care of any of the updating your local state when you do a write to your server. You can just forget about updating your state. All your real-time listeners will take care of all the state updates, and you just have to write it to your database and be done with it. So yeah, okay, great. We got something amazing going on. I think we can create a bunch of
we could try to deploy it so everyone can edit the.
Right. Yeah, should we do that?
Wait,
Except,
what were we
yeah,
doing?
something stopped working. To-dos insert. What's not working? Why is it not working anymore? Oh, okay, now it's working. Oh. Wonder what that was. Did the button work? 400.
It must be calling submitted. I'm not really sure what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, is the subscription something that you would? Are we making a subscription? Because submitted is just a normal function. There's no effect.
It seems like this write is failing for some reason.
But it worked though.
It doesn't work on the first run, so implicitly have type any. How is this having type any? So input to do. Input to use before its declaration. Input to do use before its declaration. Okay, so we can try to debug this. So this is the code that we originally had. Now, if I refresh the page,
because you created a variable with the same name as the function, so that's why you were getting that error. Like you have to call.
So right now we don't have that situation going on, right? We have the input to do.
Right. Oh, so this here. Right. This worked, but
so we hit refresh, we type something, and on the first run it doesn't. Oh, it does work. Okay, never mind. Okay.
Well, try the second time. Yeah, try it again.
It's working. Okay, great.
Then Kyle says in the on mount, y'all have some ceremony that is subscribing to Supabase. Ah, okay. So yeah. So the Supabase subscription, we need to actually unsubscribe. Right?
That's what Alice was talking about earlier too. Yeah, if
Okay,
we,
so let's unsubscribe. So let's stick.
I guess I can highlight the comments like this. Yeah, I keep forgetting about this. And Alistair from Supabase was talking about cleanup as well. Can you, yeah, right here. Can you clean up in on mount? Yeah, this was a
So
question that he
let's clean
had.
up. Let's
Yeah.
clean up we have an on cleanup.
Okay, on
So let's
cleanup.
do that.
So
Um,
on cleanup, kind of like this.
yeah.
And is it just a empty function
Yeah.
like
So I guess now
this?
you have to move that const up in
Yeah.
the scope. Make it. I guess you make it a let or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, just yeah.
That,
It doesn't need to be reactive. It just be a boring variable.
Okay. Subscription.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle gets wins the day.
So this is. Why is it not letting me highlight? Okay. Real-time subscription. Or, I guess. Does that not work? Add import and then subscription dot unsubscribe, I guess. Okay. So kind of like this. This is how you would do a cleanup in SolidJS. Am I correct?
Yeah. And by the way,
Nice.
one thing
Yeah.
to note is that Solid's components aren't like real things. So it's not really a component lifecycle. It's more like at any point in a Solid app, you have like a reactive context with an owner. So basically, like if you create an effect, now you're like inside a new context. So that's kind of a bunch of jargon to say that the on mount and on cleanup is different than in something like Vue, where each component lives and dies. In Solid, components aren't real things. They just group all of your reactivity. That's just something I haven't mentioned yet, is that in Solid, components just group your code. They're just like normal functions.
Okay. But this on cleanup will be called when this app.tsx is no longer in use, like it's unmounted from
when the thing that called it, whatever called this function, it was inside some scope, and whenever that scope goes away, the on cleanup gets called.
Nice.
And
Okay,
it kind of lets you reason about your components like they are real living things, and then behind the scenes, Solid takes care of the magic.
Nice. It's gonna bring this input and button up there
so
that
up top,
it doesn't like keep going down. Okay. One thing I wanted to do is let's clear the value once we submit a new to do. So is there an easy way of clearing, or I guess this will do the trick, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so guess I try out Solid and build something using Solid. Did it work? Did it not work?
You have to scroll down.
Oh wait, no.
Oh no, it's broken again.
That's happening again. So
come on, Supabase team in the comments, jump in and and fix our problem.
Wonder what it is. Do we? Let's input to do. So build an app using SolidJS. Now it's working, it seems like. Okay.
I think it's just we have to refresh it.
Oh wait, what? It's happening again. It's happening again.
Oh, check the message. Like, check
it's inserting.
The post.
It's inserting, but I guess we should do this, huh? If error console error.
I'm running it on my side just to see if I'm getting it. I'm getting it too. Do we get a return? So we get a message. the message from the error says new row for relation to dos violates check constraint. Failing
Check.
row contains a bunch of bogus. So basically, Supabase is
Huh.
yelling at us for doing something wrong.
Check constraints. I don't think we had any check constraints, but maybe I'm wrong.
The check constraint is called to-dos underscore task underscore check.
Oh, okay. Character length must be 3 characters or
We had a
longer.
constraint.
Still, it was obviously longer than 3 characters, so...
Maybe there's another constraint.
Do we? Boolean character length task must be... Is there... Okay.
Wait, okay, there. Check.
It has
check
happened again.
New row violates
to-dos violates
task check.
So
yeah.
to-dos check. So I'm sure it's this constraint that it's complaining about, but could there be?
Yeah, look at that. It's empty.
Why is it empty? Why is it empty? So we have a value here, but for some reason input to-do is an empty string. And I guess another question I have is we are setting this set input to-dos, but I guess because we haven't done the binding here, that's why it's not really clearing the text input.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and call the signal in there. Whoops.
What do we call it?
Input to do.
Input to do. What did I do?
No, what?
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Let's see. Okay. Now it should be working, right? I don't think we're getting that weird error. Okay, great. Okay. So yeah, let's try to actually deploy it. Yeah, I like that. So what is the easiest way to deploy a SolidJS app?
We can try the Netlify situation, and if it's not easy, we can yell at them because we have friends at Netlify.
Great. Let's do that.
So we have to push it to GitHub.
Okay. Yep. Let's do that. I actually have already hooked it up to a GitHub repository, so we can just I always push that using terminal. I don't use any of the...
I know, I do the same.
Yeah.
Basically, what I do is if I want to commit an individual file, I use VS Code, and if I want to commit everything, I just do git add dot.
Yeah. Okay. So now I wrote up.
If we go to Netlify, and if you already have an account,
I actually don't think I have an account yet.
Vercel will work too.
Is it a lot of work to?
No.
Create an account? Yeah, okay.
You just press a bunch of green buttons and look at us. Netlify should sponsor this stream.
Yeah.
Wow, it makes you. Come on, Netlify. We don't want to fill this out. We don't want to do this.
Developer. Yeah. Personal project setup. Yeah, setup and continue. Import from Git. Authorize Netlify.
Netlify's going to go read all your code.
Okay, so search repos, I guess.
It says no repositories found. Oh, you have to hit the button again, and then you, wherever the exactly
Okay, let's
either one. You can choose it.
Real time, I think. No, to do. What did I call it? Okay, yeah, SolidJS Supabase to do.
Cool.
Okay, install my pass.
Everyone look away. He's typing his password. Everyone look away.
Okay, great.
So now import from Git.
Where did it go?
What?
Okay. Yep. So
I don't think you need that one anymore. I think, well, whatever. Hit the import from Git.
Import from Git, yeah.
And then you do that. So do this again. Okay, here it is. Okay. All right. Let's hit the big button.
Site.
Let's hit the big button. Let's see if this works.
Nice.
Are you using any environment variables?
Great call. I am. So Where can site settings, is it? Site
Yeah.
settings.
I think build and deploy.
Build and deploy.
Scroll down.
Environment.
Oh, yeah.
Edit variables. Okay. So we can, where is it? And we
It's
just go. Vite Supabase URL. By the way, these are just not server-side keys. These are client-side keys, so it's okay to expose it. Yeah, that's another beauty about Supabase, right? We're just putting it inside the environment variable, just to be able to easily toggle between development environment and production environment. But these are going to be exposed on your client side, and that's fine as long as you have set up proper role level security, which we have not done. So anybody can actually wipe out or enter anything they want to. But yeah,
let's see
as
if it
long as
works.
you have, yeah, let's see if
I want everyone in chat to make to-dos. We can't delete any to-dos yet, but hit that button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it reloads with the. I wonder we have to redeploy because we added the environment variable
Did you hit the
afterwards.
save button? There's always a save button, I think.
I think I did. Yeah, okay. I think it's there. So
yeah, if you go back to the homepage of this site overview on the top left, yeah, so hit the site, and then it should tell you if you scroll down a bit, you see production deploys. We only have one deploy, which means I don't think it redeployed. So
can we reload? Do we have to push again?
I don't know why it's doing this. I thought every time you edit the environmental variable, it should, but maybe.
Let's just check if it's actually spitting out errors. Yeah. So it doesn't have to.
So yeah, try to get it to redeploy again. Hit options maybe.
Where is
the third button in the
options?
Yeah, there. Retry deploy.
Okay, great. Just I guess hit refresh a bunch of times.
Yeah, it'll tell you if you go back, it gives you a little if you hit that see where it says starting up. Wait, no, go back. See where it says building. You see that? So if you if you click that first item, it will spit out what's going on.
Oh, nice.
It makes you feel like a hacker, all the text coming down.
Oh yeah.
All right, it says site is live, so let's see. It says.
Oh yeah. Awesome, and everyone are going to share this URL
put it in the chat. Comments. everyone have at it. Oh my gosh, someone showed up in the chat and said, "What is SolidJS?"
That's awesome. Do you wanna give a brief overview?
SolidJS is a front-end framework that we use to build this app. That's all I need to say about it now.
Yeah, great. So yeah, this is great. Yeah, please go to this URL and try to add something to it.
Everyone make to-dos.
This is solid.
Appreciate Dan's gorgeous hair.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
I love Supabase. Yay! Thank you guys. It's yeah. So nice. Appreciate. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Oh yeah, we have more coming in. It's so cool. Need to learn SolidJS. Yeah, for sure. SolidJS is a really solid framework. I'm in love with it at this point. It's so nice.
I want to give my plug because my job at Solid is to do documentation. And my number one priority now is to find contributors to help us do documentation. So if you're out there and you're like, I love writing, I love communication, I love teaching, you can reach out to me. I put my @Jutanium rather than my name, so it's easy for you to find me on Discord or Twitter. But if you are interested in Solid and you want to learn it with the docs team, someone says I'm 12. If you're 12 and watching this, I'm honestly glad to have you, man. You've got a life ahead of you of programming.
Yeah, such a bright future. Wow. Remember to share what you're building using Supabase and SolidJS, and we'll hit that star, whatever it is on Twitter, GitHub, and everything. That's amazing. That's amazing. You're 12 and coding. Yeah, yeah, Supabase and Solid looks good together for sure, for sure. That array manipulation kind of thing with update, that was magical. That was
Wait,
beautiful.
remove the comment from the stream because we can't see.
Oh,
Like,
sorry. Yep.
okay.
I always forget that.
So this person says they're 8. At this point, I think you're trolling, but yeah, I love this. We could do so much fun with this. Like have build like a real-time game to play with chat.
That would be great. That would be great. Yeah, we should do that. We can have so much fun. Like we can turn this into a multiple series for sure.
Yeah, the cool thing
Yeah,
about
this is great
I didn't
introduction.
I didn't think about this, but like this is a perfect thing to do on stream because everyone can sort of
Yeah.
play with it.
Yeah. Wow, we have so many comments coming in. This is nice. This is nice. Like I'm looking at the comments on the YouTube and then the comments on the to-do list. Wow, this is great. This is great. Recently joined via Twitch. What is this?
What is this? What is going on?
Nice, nice. It's
What?
Supabase and
Oh
Solid
God.
playing together.
Wait, can we
Nice.
let's post? Can you post this on like the Twitter account and see if people?
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
We just built this using.
Gonna be my personal Twitter account, but yeah. Let's see. So we just built
Owen
this.
Silverman says, "What's up? I'm actually 12." Thank you, Owen, for joining. So when I was 12, I was doing programming too.
Hey.
Yeah. So if you are interested in programming now and you stick with it, you could write docs just like me.
So yeah, if you're on Twitter, please like, retweet,
I love this.
and yeah.
Supabase plus solid equals super solid. Can we
Oh
make
yeah,
that
nice.
canon? Super solid.
Super solid. I love that. I'm gonna take a
It's
screenshot just because
either
it's so
super
nice.
solid or solid soup.
Solid soup. I love super solid. Super solid sounds really solid. If you go to my YouTube, you can actually see I'm 12. What is your YouTube channel? If you want to check it in the comments or in this to-do list, we would love to go watch it. Yeah.
It's funny. Tyler was like, "Let's build a to-do list," but really, we built a chat app.
Yeah. It's for like
But
a
everyone's
live
anonymous.
comment. Yeah. Nice. I only do front end dev though. That is totally fine. That's the power that we want to give at Supabase, right? A lot of us, including me, are a front end dev, and I don't really know the nitty gritty hard stuff about backend. But Supabase gives me the power to build a full scale application without knowing a whole lot about backends. And Supabase gives us a nice way to like educate ourselves slowly as we progress on the fun things about database. So you can certainly get started on Supabase without knowing a whole lot about SQL or backend, but we give you option to like slowly learn SQL functions, transaction, all the fun stuff that a Postgres has to offer. So yeah,
Also,
come check it out. Yeah.
you can use this same Supabase setup to build like a Flutter, like a mobile app.
Certainly. Yep. So we do have a Flutter SDK, so you can use Supabase on your Flutter application. I have built a Flutter application. In fact, if you go to my Twitter account and go to my pinned tweet, this is a bit of a advertisement, but this is a app called Spot that I built using Supabase and Flutter. It's using storage side of things on Supabase as well, where you can essentially record a video and it'll store that video on that particular location. So it's kind of like Google Map and like to say TikTok combined together. But it's fun, yeah.
I love
Go
that.
check it out. Yeah. This is great. Yeah. We're getting these comments nonstop. Cyber, man, your SDK is so easy. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, it
SolidJS and
was.
Supabase.
That was really nice. Like the SDK, first of all, it had generics for types, so we had the types.
Yeah,
Um, and then the real-time update was really smooth. It was like, yes, we had to write a switch statement, but it was a nice switch statement. And as we wrote the switch statement, it auto-completed.
yeah. So that was really nice. And yeah, 1% is asking for more tutorials on SolidJS and Supabase. So yeah, this might be a good time to call out some of the things that I wanted to talk about at the end, if except I forgot it somewhere else. Okay, so at Supabase we have official Supabase SolidJS how to get started, a quick start guide.
Ooh, I love it.
So yeah, we have
Yes.
a so this quick starter guide actually goes a little more deeper than what we did today because it incorporates storage and auth into it as well. So at the end, you'll build something like this where you can upload your own avatar, you can sign in using your email address, and you can update your profile information like your username and website. So yeah, this is a good starting point if you want to get started with SolidJS and Supabase. Other than that, I think that's the only official tutorial that we have on Superbase's end. So yeah, for sure, we're gonna have to create more tutorials, maybe more live stream like this, and have more
Yeah,
fun
I
with
would
it.
love to do more Supabase solid live streams. So
Yeah, for
I
sure.
actually have my own live stream, so maybe you could pop on that for a sequel. And I like the idea, like we can come up with like a game to make using
What's
like
your
a simple
channel?
game. Oh, so I'm just Dan Jutan. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, my live streams are on Twitch, but the
Mm.
uploads are on YouTube. So if you go to twitch.tv/Jutanium, the next stream is this Sunday. I actually
Uh,
have to do an official announcement, but it will be this this Sunday, and we're going to talk about. I'm going to bring on a guest, and I want to announce the guest officially on Twitter. But we're going to talk about Angular, Vue,
oh, okay.
React, and Solid all in one video. It's going to be a really crazy stream. But yeah, I'd love to do some more Supabase Solid content. It really seems like a match made in heaven. Like the
It
Solid
really
store,
does. Yeah.
Supabase real time updates. Feels
Yeah, it was so amazing. Felt so right, using Solid.
yeah.
Like everything's really intuitive. I loved it.
Yeah. So one more link. If you go to
Hmm.
docs.solidjs.com, you will find the in progress new docs that I'm working on. So this is going to
Oh,
have
nice.
a
It
really
has
nice
night
beginning
mode.
tutorial. If you hit that reference tab, you'll see one of my like concept guides. So I'm writing a bunch of these, but like if you hit on tracking, it will explain in like really easy bullet points like what is this concept if you want to dive deeper into Solid. So yeah, this is my pitch. Like if you want to help me, and Nick on the Solid Docs team is my teammate. If you want to help us, write some docs, even if you've never if you don't really know SolidJS, it doesn't matter as long as you like writing, you like teaching. We would love to have you along.
This is amazing. This is amazing. If someone wants to get started with this, is there like a GitHub repo, public
Yeah,
GitHub repo that
actually,
they can
if you scroll
contribute
to the
or?
bottom, there's like an edit button.
Oh,
Just hit that
nice.
edit button, and then go to
Oh,
the repo name. Or yeah, just hit that. Yeah. So this is where you start. And literally today I was working on my last commit update writing.md. I'm
right.
creating guides to
4 hours
help people
ago.
contribute to us. So literally probably
Right.
by the end of the week, you will be able to like have a full contributor guide. If you go to the top, and you hit projects, you should, I guess you have to hit projects classic, and then you have to click a million times.
Yeah.
But these are like all the tasks that we're going to be doing and like what we're working on. So I'm super
Nice,
excited
nice.
about this. Someone asked in chat, do you write the docs in Markdown? We actually write the docs in something called MDX, which is a version of Markdown that lets us include whatever solid components we want.
Mm,
So
nice,
yeah,
nice,
there's my
nice.
plug. I had to do my plug.
Yeah, okay. That was great. That was great. Yeah, thanks. And I guess yeah, if you're a Supabase fan or SolidJS fan, doesn't matter because now we have this Supabase and SolidJS live stream kind of thing going on. Come check out the Supabase YouTube channel where we talk about everything about Supabase, and it'll be fun. We have a lot of these live streams. In fact, the next one coming up would be this Friday where we build something using Supabase and Flutter. So if you're
Ooh,
if you're a SolidJS fan, but you want to also build a mobile application using Flutter and Supabase, Friday is the day that you want to tune in. We talked about this SolidJS quick start. Shout out to Dan again. Thanks for coming to this stream at Supabase. It was really fun talking about SolidJS, and I think we made a really good application. So go follow him on Twitter at Jutanium is your username, and then this is my Twitter account, Tyler Schukert. My username is D Schukert Jr. A lot of people tell me they don't really know how to pronounce this, and yeah, it's not exactly a very intuitive one, but D comes from my father's name. His name was Douglas, so D and then Schukert is my last name, and then I'm his son, so I just added a junior at the end. This was actually comes from an email address that he uh, got for me for the very first time when I was in fifth grade, I think.
right.
Yeah, he gave me this nice email address and it kind of stuck with me. So that's me on Twitter. Other than that, I don't know. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, Dan?
Yeah, there's that solid YouTube channel, and I'm gonna make
Yeah.
more videos soon. But like, see, I made like an FAQ video, and I'm gonna try to make more of those. But if you want like a good introduction for what the heck reactivity is, that third video is like our most popular one, and that's just me explaining what reactivity is.
Wow, look at the
So
amount of views on this one.
yeah,
49K.
I really should make more videos, but there's so much to do.
I know, yeah. And all these links should be in the description on both YouTube and Twitch streams. So yeah, go check it out. And I think that is a
Yeah,
good place to end
thanks so
it
much
today.
for having me
Yeah,
on. Thanks
yeah,
to everyone for coming up in the comments. I genuinely had a great time. Like, this was so much fun.
yeah. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining in from all the place in the world, and we'll have hopefully we'll have more fun in the future as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, yeah.
Good night,
Then
everyone.
great. Yeah. Good night or good morning or wherever you're from. Yeah. Bye bye.